tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake friends gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo, smile so much.
Guys, next story up. So this is actually a rest in peace, but a whole bunch of drama that's wrapped around this rest in peace, which is really, really sad. But we also know that a lot of times when people die, it brings out the ugly in folks, right? First, rest in peace to BigScarr. Okay, mama named him Alexander Woods. Okay, he was a rapper that was under the 1017 rap label, the label that belongs to Gucci Mane. He was a rapper there, had been given a chain and was sworn in, I guess. He has died this past week from an accidental drug overdose. Okay. I don't know who BigScarr is, not familiar with his music. I feel like 1017 Records, y'all know as much as I love Gucci Mane, it just feels like they just put out all kind of music, and it just be like every time you turn around, Gucci got a new album, and it don't even be all that good to me. So anyway, okay, I don't know what's going on over there anymore, but he was a rapper that was on that label. And like I said, he died from an accidental overdose. Okay. Now, apparently BigScarr was, he was given that name because back in 2016, he was in a very bad automobile accident. Okay. And it left a big scar on his body, hence the name. Okay. And like I said, I'm sure he's put out whatever he's put out with 1017 or whatever. So, you know, he has a fan base. Now that he has died, some of the family members were unhappy with how his funeral arrangements were handled. So apparently Gucci Mane had then reached out to BigScarr's family and told them that he would pay for the funeral whenever they decided to bury him. You know, he would have the tab. Okay. And they were apparently grateful for that. After the funeral, though, you know, some of the family members, a sister and a cousin, came out and basically blasted Gucci Mane because they said that he did not pay. You know, that the funeral was $60,000, and you know that I was like, fuck, what is happening at a damn funeral? Now I know funerals and got expensive. I've been around many of them and had to plan quite a few too. Okay, it's business like anything else, but $60,000? I mean, what is happening at a funeral that costs $60,000 unless you have really just done it up really, really big? But apparently the family said, or the cousin and the sister said, that Gucci didn't pay. It was $60,000. You know, they had this bill for Gucci. It's this, it's that. They had talked so much that finally Keisha, Gucci's wife, put the receipt, the literal receipt, took a picture and posted it where he paid $10,000 to the funeral home. Okay, so then I was like, oh, okay, so they probably mad because he didn't give them the money and instead paid it directly to the funeral home. Okay, after that, they still was like, that don't mean nothing. Okay, he paid $10,000. The flowers was $10,000. You know, it was $60,000 for the damn thing, and it's fuck him still and this and that. And I was just like, what is wrong? See, I'm telling you guys, people are so damn entitled. It's amazing what this young generation believes and feels. Sometimes when I put comments on different, you know, posts on Instagram, it's just really interesting to see the people that respond and the ways that they think that something is supposed to happen to them simply because they think that, you know, that they were supposed to get this money because what? First of all, this is not Gucci's responsibility. He was doing it out of the kindness of his heart. But apparently Gucci paid $10,000 and the label paid $10,000. Okay, so that's $20,000, and they still mad. The young kids was still mad that Gucci didn't pay. Let them tell it $60,000. Okay, that shit went on and on. Every time I went on to damn Instagram, I was seeing somebody talking about it, and finally, somebody with some damn sense, the daddy came out, put a video out and said basically he apologized to Gucci for his family. Okay, that he didn't know that they was going to be out there running reckless at the mouth and talking bad about it, that was nothing that even needed should have been on social media. But Gucci had paid $10,000 and so did the label, and he was grateful for that. He said whatever else that was left, he paid the balance. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is still left after $20,000? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The father is saying, look, I am sorry that all of that has come out. It never should have. He was just like, they're emotional. His sister loved him. His cousin loves him, so they just are emotional and saying a lot of things that maybe they just didn't need to say. He even said that he wasn't going to throw his own family under the bus because he loves them too. But yeah, for everything to get out of hand like it did, the father just apologized, and I really appreciated that. I was like, it's always got to be a motherfucker around my age come out there and just, try to make some sense for people, because folks is crazy. But the sister, I was just like, girl, child, it was a whole lot, but they got it handled. But it's too bad that, folks got to be making videos about things when really we mourning the death of a loved one. But now you want to be up here yelling and fussing and cussing out folks that really don't even have to do any of that. Okay? It's amazing, but I'm telling you, the generation today is so entitled. And not everybody, because I know that there's a lot of young people that are not that way, but it's a whole bunch of you guys that think that way. And it's a bad look, y'all. It's bad. Folks don't owe you nothing. So all of that around his death, you guys. I'm not even going to get into the conversation about how all of these accidental overdoses are happening, and that is really, our younger generation also is dabbling quite a bit in drugs. Like, not if not dabbling, just full-blown addicts. That's a discussion for another day. But it's just like every time you turn around and you hear about these accidental overdoses, it's really affecting our young people. That's something else that we need to be concerned about, but that's a different discussion for a different day. Like I said, he was 22 years old. Rest in peace to Big Scar.
I my sorrow, stay the shaky and vibrato. I can't hold a frown too long.
Next story up is a real quick, fast story, you guys. Apparently, Scrappy, mama named him Daryl Kevin Richardson, and his wife Bambi, mama named her Addie Shanette Benson. But I thought her name was Adiz, A-D-I-Z. But this thing that I'm reading says Addie, so I'm not really sure. It's one of those. But anyway, I have some bad news to report, you guys. These two looked like, they haven't confirmed it, but it looks like these two have decided to call it quits. Now, shout out to the Rockstar who actually sent me a message a while ago saying that Media Takeout was saying that those two had broken up and that he was now dating Erica from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I said, not Erica, damn Safari's ex-wife. Now that I didn't see happening, because I know that Bambi and Erica are good friends, and I would hope that Erica wouldn't do some shit like that to her. So I told them that was probably a bullshit story. But then I started to realize that I hadn't seen Bambi and Scrappy together recently, other than when they were on the show. And on the show, they don't look really happy. I don't watch the show anymore, but the clips that I would see, especially when Scrappy was confronting Mama D about, his upbringing and her running basically a whole house while he was living there, and the shit that he had been traumatized and have PTSD from. But in those clips, when he's talking about Bambi, he was like, she hard. I can't get no kind of love or attention from her. I can't get it from my mom. And that was like kind of a red flag. Okay. Because he said that before, like she's not really the most loving wife. And so, it's not really surprising now that I hear the story that these two probably have broken up. Like I said, they haven't confirmed it, but both of them looks like they have removed the pictures of each other off of their Instagram, which is usually a telltale sign. I don't think they follow each other any longer. And that's really too bad. I know a lot of people will be happy about that, though, because a lot of people don't like Bambi. I like Bambi. Bambi is definitely a Cali girl. I definitely am familiar with Bambi's type of personality, so I'm fine with it, but I know that she rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But I think that she's a good person. I think that she is trying her best, and maybe this was just, and I feel like Scrappy really did love her, and, it just was hard for both of them for whatever reason, okay? It's really sad though, because they have 3 little kids together, like stair-step kids. I don't even think the oldest one is 5 years old yet. So, they have young kids, and he's not there with them from what I can tell. I'm sure he still is in their lives, but it's just sad when a family breaks up. So even though I don't believe that he's seeing Erica, because that would be so fucking trifling. I mean, that would be so trifling. I do believe that maybe these two have called it quits. I didn't see any sign of Scrappy during the Christmas holiday or anything. So, yeah, it looks like that this might be it, which is just too bad, you guys.
I can't stay down too long. Running from pain, running.
All right, you guys, next story up, the Golden Globes. So I watched the Golden Globes, but I didn't watch them from the beginning because I didn't even know they were on. I just had no idea. I used to be really good with award season, but since COVID, it threw things off. And then now that we kind of back on track, I forgot that the beginning of the year is usually award season. But anyway, Golden Globes came on a couple of nights ago. I turned to it, maybe it had already been about an hour into the simulcast, but Gerard Carmichael was the host. And from what I saw, and from what I already knew about his brand and style of comedy, I knew that he probably was making a whole bunch of people uncomfortable there. Okay, like people said, honey, Gerard Carmichael waited until that $500,000 check cleared, and then he didn't give a fuck no more. I mean, he basically just was shooting from the hip and saying whatever he wanted to say. And when you are in a room, a majority of white people that are very uncomfortable, it was actually quite funny to see. I didn't see the joke about that he made about Whitney Houston, which definitely is in poor taste. Like, black people still ain't, we never gonna accept a joke about the death of Whitney Houston. That's just one that ain't never really gonna go over well for the people. So, and I guess that probably was in the opening monologue. That's why I didn't see it. So yeah, he shouldn't have said that. I don't expect him to apologize for it or anything, because, comedians stand on what they say usually. And it just sort of is what it is. So I wish that he hadn't said that. But everything else that I saw that he said, when he talked about Scientology to a room of Scientologists, Hollywood is very largely Scientologist. When he said about, oh, girls still missing, that wife has not been seen since 2007. The wife of the head, the leader of Scientology, or whatever you call them. I shouldn't say Grand Wizard. Roxanne, don't say that. But whoever is the head of Scientology, the wife, she hasn't been seen, I think they said, since 2007 publicly. Okay. And nobody seems to be worried about it, because the man is still out there, leading the people, and the wife is nowhere to be seen. I mean, is the lady still even alive? And why is it that ain't nobody sent the police over there for a wellness check? But you know how Scientologist is. It's just sort of like so much mystery and secrecy surrounded that whole religion that, anyway. Yeah, Gerard Carmichael, suffice it to say, I don't believe he will be asked back to be the host. I think he was a little too raw. But, I was fine with a lot of the things that he said. A lot of the things kind of made me sniggle and giggle. But, yeah, he ain't for the general mass, I don't think. But, yeah, I'm gonna let you guys know of just the black folks that won, because that's all that we really care about, okay? Over here, we root for everybody black. And so I'll give you the list. First up, Angela Bassett won for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Okay, she was the winner of the best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a motion picture. Okay, if you guys saw Wakanda Forever, the scene that sealed it for her, I think, is when she was talking to the council and she was talking about, you know, like, have I not sacrificed everything? Like, my son is dead, okay, and y'all still up here with the bullshit. Okay, that scene was so powerful. I was just like, yes, that was it. So, and Angela Bassett looked beautiful, because lately I've been seeing Angela Bassett and it looked like she'd been doing some Botox strange things to her face. But this time, I guess she got the Botox early enough that, you know, it had softened out and looked regular, because, child, I have seen sometimes I've seen her and I was like, ooh, girl, lay off the needle. But she looked beautiful. Her face looked beautiful. Her makeup looked beautiful. Her hair, everything. Just loved the look. So congratulations to her. Next, Zendaya. She won for Euphoria. She won Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series Drama. Okay, congratulations to her. Zendaya is that girl. And then Quinta Brunson, we cannot forget, for Abbott Elementary. She won Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series, Musical or Comedy. You guys watch Abbott Elementary? I mean, if you're not, what is wrong with you? Okay, you need to get that show in your life. Very, very good. Very, very funny. Also from Abbott Elementary, Tyler James Williams. Okay, also of Everybody Hates Chris fame. Remember, he played the young Chris Rock on the show. Well, now he is big and grown, and he plays the teacher on Abbott Elementary. He won for Best Supporting Actor in a Musical, Comedy, or Drama. Good for him. I was feeling this suit. Did y'all see his wide leg suit? I mean, he looked like he needed to have like a glass of cognac in his hand, you know, holding it this way. Them wide legs was killing me, but I love the look. I love the look. So congratulations to him. And then we had Eddie Murphy, who was the winner of the Cecil B. DeMille Award. You guys, that's the honorary award that they give out, you know, every year. And of course, we know all of Eddie Murphy's, you know, his catalog of all of the things that he's done. Music. I guess I can add music in there. Music, movies, comedy, all of that. So congratulations to him. He definitely deserves it. Even though I feel like Hollywood, seems like Hollywood don't really like Eddie Murphy too much. I mean, I think that there is they respect him for who he is and what he's done. But for some reason, I feel like Hollywood kind of always, I don't know. I can't put into words what it is, but it don't seem like they give Eddie Murphy the flowers that he should be getting. And I'm not really sure why that is. It doesn't matter, because Eddie Murphy is extremely rich. He ain't got to work another day in his damn life, and his kids probably don't have to eat. Not probably, do not have to. He's still taking care of his ex-wife and all of that, okay? So Eddie Murphy is you know, he's fine whether or not you like him or not. But it's just interesting to me. I always get a feeling that they don't, I don't know, they just don't seem to really like Eddie like that. Y'all let me know what you think about that. Because have you ever thought that? I mean, would you have a reason to even think that? But just now, I just always have felt that way. Basically, you guys, I didn't really watch the Golden Globes, which is actually the one award show that I really enjoy watching, because usually everybody is drunk and people get up there and say all kind of outlandish shit and things happen. But yeah, like I said, I didn't even really know it was on. And then when I finally saw it, turned to it was 9 o'clock. And then, honey, Roxanne at 10 o'clock has to turn it on in. So I only really paid attention to a good hour of what I saw. But yeah, anyway, you guys, and I don't even remember really any of the looks, because I didn't even really pay attention. But I thought Niecy Nash's dress was beautiful, and I thought that Quinta Brunson's outfit was nice. And I just told you, like, I only really know the people that I saw in that hour. Okay. So yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. Usually I have a little bit more of a spirited discussion of these award shows, but I didn't even really pay attention to it. So y'all gonna have to go look up the pictures yourself. But yeah, anyway, you guys tell me what you thought about the Golden Globes, the good, the bad, the ugly. I know that Abbott Elementary also won for, you know, best comedy. So very, very happy. I mean, it is definitely Quinta Brunson's year. It's her time. She can do no wrong. The trajectory is just everything. So good for her. And it was also a good night for Brad Pitt, you guys. And y'all know that I've already told you guys that is the one white boy, if you know. If the stars aligned differently and, you know, I ever came to a point where I would have to be with a white man, you know, Brad Pitt is the one. And Brad is still quite fine. And now that he stopped drinking and he done got a haircut and got his beard shaved and, you know, got that goatee, and I was, ooh, that Brad Pitt is still fine, y'all. So anyway, that's it and that's all. Y'all let me know what you thought about the winners.
Running from things, running from schemes. I can't hold a frown.
All right, you guys, next story up. So Mariah Carey is about sick of Nick Cannon and all of his damn kids and baby mamas and him going from house to house and maybe promising to be somewhere when he can't be there because he's got to go somewhere else. And yeah, Mariah's over it. So she is now filed for primary custody. I think they have joint custody of Rock and Roll, which is their twin children together. Mariah Carey is now applying for primary custody. And, of course, the people don't understand why is it that she would even need to do something like that it is unnecessary. But you guys, it is very much not a necessary thing. When somebody has joint custody, but you have a parent that usually has the kids 90% of the time, then really that parent should be the one who has the final say on what happens with those children. You've got somebody that can't even be there 50% of the time, but they still hold the power to stop you from doing something that might be in the best interest for your children. How would you know? You ain't even here, you know? So that is why she's doing that. He could stop her from doing a lot of things, but then still not be there. Do you understand? So let me just say, for instance, if she wanted to move out the country, move somewhere else with those children, he could legally stop her. Okay, so that means it can't happen. But if I'm staying in the country and then you still ain't even seeing the kids but 15-20% of the time, then how fair is that to me? Okay, I could have still moved and you probably would have seen them still the amount of time that you did or didn't see them, even if I was here. I mean, I'm sure that Mariah Carey is still going to respect Nick as their father and get his input. I don't blame her one bit. And Nick Cannon probably shouldn't be able to blame her either, because he already did an interview saying how difficult it is for him to see everybody. He felt guilty about that. He just had his 12th child, okay? He's got kids with Mariah Carey that's right at that age where they really need him to be around. You know, when you start having your kids get to them early teens, preteens and all, like, that's the time that really the parent needs to be there, you know? So, yeah, I'm not mad at Mariah Carey at all. And I believe that the courts will probably give her that primary custody as well. Because once that judge get to looking over all of the paperwork, all him and all his damn babies and everything, he gonna be like, child, he ain't even got time to... he ain't got time to respond to this. Let me just go on and put this through. So, yeah, not mad at Mariah Carey at all.
I can't stay down too long. Running from pain.
All right, you guys, next story up. The sad one that I hate to report, you guys. DeBarge was arrested in Encino, California, a few days back on multiple drug and weapons charges. You guys, DeBarge, the DeBarge family has been plagued with so many things. So many things. Vices that they haven't been able to shake. We know that DeBarge, like many of his other brothers and sisters, have been fighting a drug problem probably most of his life, okay? Definitely all of his adult life, but even while he was younger, we know that they all dabbled, if weren't full-blown addicts. And it makes me so sad, you guys, because the whole family is so fucking talented. So talented. DeBarge, you guys, his Tiny Desk concert, if you guys have not seen that on YouTube, it is something to hear, you guys. That man still has the voice. He can still hit those notes. He's so talented, so talented. So it just makes me sad whenever I hear a story about him falling back off of the wagon. And this has happened many times over the years, so it's not surprising. It's just something that I think that he's going to fight for all of his life. DeBarge was at a gas station 3:30, 3:40 in the morning out in Burbank, and they noticed that his vehicle had expired tags on there. When they ended up going up to him, they found out that he didn't even have a valid driver's license. I guess once they got him out the car and they decided to arrest him, they found out that he had a baton in there. So when they said weapons charges, I'm thinking gun, knife, something like that. But they said that he had a baton, illegal use of a baton. They also said that he had tear gas. I thought that it was pepper spray, but now I'm reading they say that it was tear gas, and that of course he had illegal possession of a controlled substance and also drug paraphernalia. Okay, so for all of those reasons, they have arrested him, and he's going to appear in court on March 9th. But yeah, it makes me very, very sad because he just cannot shake it. And we know that family has had so much tragedy. I mean, I think I just told you guys about, wasn't that Chico's son? Whose son was it? I think it was Chico DeBarge's son that ended up dying from a drug overdose recently. So we just gonna pray that you guys, that he can get that demon off of his shoulder. I have a special place of love in my heart for DeBarge. I mean, love his music from when he was with the DeBarges, from when he was solo on his own. Different work that he's done with like DJ Quick and all that. Just very, very unfortunate. So our prayers are up for him. Hopefully that he can shake this addiction, because we ain't getting no younger, you guys. And I'm sure his body can't continue to take these kind of, those drugs in his system. Eventually it's going to catch up with him. So hopefully he can get in control of that before, something like that happens. I would hate to be telling a story about his death. So prayers up for him. Hopefully he can beat that demon one day.
Running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. Couple things I know.
Next story up, you guys, I actually posted this on my Instagram stories yesterday, that both Jennifer Hudson and Sherri from the Sherri&JHud show, they have both had their contracts renewed and their shows will go on for a second season. So good for them. Because we weren't really sure how that was going to go for them. It didn't do well for Nick Cannon when he was in that exact same situation. But yes, it has happened for the Black women. And we are always happy to see when Black women get their good job renewed. So good for them. I have not watched Sherri&JHud's show. But when I asked you guys if you guys were watching the shows, many of you guys said that you watched Sherri&JHud's show. Actually, a lot of you guys said that you watch her. I guess she has a live stream on YouTube, either right after her show or maybe during the show. I'm not really sure, but you guys said that you enjoy that. Got mostly no's on JHud's show. And the interesting thing about JHud's show, I watched a little bit of it when I was on vacation. I actually just watched one episode, and it was the episode that she had Kelly Rowland on there. But I just was surprised, honestly, if I was going to be honest with you, surprised that they actually renewed her show. Her show is not good. It doesn't feel authentic. She doesn't seem genuine. She seems very Hollywood to me. And it's just, I don't even know who her demographic is. When you look at her audience, it's a whole bunch of old white people. It's just like, it's just the strangest thing. And then to see her and, her over, she's very overly dramatic, and, it's all of this. Now, respect to JHud. She's an EGOT winner, and, she's worked hard and the things that she's done. But in this vein, as a talk show host, I just am not feeling the JHud thing at all. I hate to say that, you guys, because we want the Black women to win at all times. It's much harder for us Black women than anybody else, but it's just, it's just something about it. It just doesn't feel authentic, genuine. It feels like she's putting on. It feels like she is. And then the stories and the questions and the things they talk about, it's just, the whole thing is rubbish, you guys. It's just blah. Well, some of you guys said you liked the show, but most of you guys said either you don't watch it or you didn't like it. So I know that I'm not by myself on this one. But listen, I guess it don't matter to us, because whoever she got to be convincing to give her a second season, it has worked, okay? And she is Hollywood's baby. Now, I will say that Hollywood, okay, they love JHud. She's Clive Davis's protege. You know, he took her under her wing, and she definitely, it's a lot of people in high places that really love JHud. So maybe in this case, that's all that matters, child. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think about both of those shows. We only here to congratulate the two. Okay, one more season at least.
Couple things I show, couple things I don't.
And then lastly, you guys, congratulations are in order, because they say that Naomi Osaka is now infanticipating, you guys, along with her boyfriend Corday, who is a rapper. I don't know if he's still rapping. Ain't heard too much about him since him and the girl been together, but they've been dating since 2019. And we know that Naomi has been having some issues with her nervousness, her anxiety, her depression. She's taken a break from the game of tennis. She hasn't been competing because it's just been too much for her. So on her break, it seems that her and Corday have found themselves now infanticipating. You guys know what it takes to make a baby. I don't have to tell you that. But yeah, so she actually made the announcement on her Instagram. She posted yesterday, amongst other things, that over this time that she's been taking a break, she realized how much she loves the game of tennis. You know, she just needed to take a step back just so she can come to appreciate what she had been in, because the shit had just became so stressful for her that she wasn't enjoying it anymore. Now she realizes that once she gets back out there on the court, that she's going to have a kid that will look up to her, and that she's like actually looking forward to being, you know, like a role model, you know, just the person that her child, you know, loves to see out there. And she said that she will be back in AUS, I'm assuming she's meaning Australia, in 2024. Okay, so she is going to go back to the game of competing, and but for now she is concentrating on becoming a mother. So congratulations to her and young Corday. Okay, baby on the way.
I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain.
Guys, that's it. Let me get off of here and get on back to work. Okay, we do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come.
I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes.
Until next time, rock stars. Bye.